Well, good morning. Or afternoon. It's afternoon for me, but it's morning for you. So I have an entire load of laundry to fold. Oh no, pardon me. I have several loads of laundry to fold and an entire kitchen to clean. So of course I was like, you know what? Perfect time to film a video. Perfect. All right, we're doing a kindergarten haul today. Some of my favorite videos, the videos I started doing first, were hauls. I just love it. It's so exciting. So exciting to show you what I got. First, of course, product of the day. Now I trained and took a course in Montessori, if you will, Montessori education. I forget what it was called, it was a while ago. But one of the activities they taught me was, okay, you draw a line and then the child can go wherever they want, but they attach to your line in whatever color they want. And then you follow that up with your line and they follow that up with their line. And it's just a fun, simple activity you can do with your kids. I highly recommend it. Another kindergarten tip I have is, okay, zones of regulation. This is usually occupational therapists use this, but essentially what it is, you can print the chart off on the internet, just type in zones of regulation, and a lot of preschools use it. And it's like, okay, if you're in the blue zone, you're sad. If you're in the green zone, you're happy or calm. Yellow, you're frustrated, and red, you're mad. So when you're trying to get a child to understand his emotions, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to take him from one of these three and get him back to green. So the first week, like, oh, you're so blue, you are sad. And then, you know, as they get, okay, what can we do to get you back to green? So it works really well if they're a little bit older too, even kindergarten or older. Like, what can we do to get you back to green? If you have a neurodiverse child, I find it works really well with them as well. Like, what can we do? What can I do to help you get to green, you know? And then work that out and then have a list of things you can try when they're not angry. Like, we can try, hey, how about next time you're sad, we try hugging, we try going for a walk, things like that, okay? So those are my 2 things of the day to talk to you about. There's actually one more. Okay, Dana K. White, but this is for the adult, not for the child. Dana K. White, she does the slob, a slob comes clean. And one of her tips was, I was listening, I was like, this is so smart. She's like, why don't you just time how long it takes you to sweep a floor. Time how long it takes you to do your dishes. After you eat, how long does it take you to do your dishes? If I clean the kitchen at night, it takes me 5 minutes. If I wait till tomorrow, at least 20. I don't understand why. Probably food hardening on, maybe more dishes are added. I don't know, but it's something where if you do it right away, whatever, you probably understand this concept, but what I'm trying to explain is, when it came to, hey, how long does it take you to sweep your floors? And I did it and I was like, what, it takes like 2 minutes. It takes like 3 minutes maybe. Like it takes nowhere near the amount of effort, like laying there going, oh, I should sweep the floor. And then not doing it because like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. When you tell yourself, hey, it takes 5 minutes. Like I can't do something for 5 minutes, even something I don't like, Okay, so that was my tip of the day for adults. Now let's go. Let's go to my favorite products here. Yes, this table is clean, I swear to you. Like, did I miss a bunch of crumbs? But anyway, this is clean as it gets. So, we do Math with Confidence by someone who went to Harvard and she has dual degrees in education and math. So she's teaching them money. So in kindergarten, she actually does a printout of the money in the back of the books. You don't have to purchase any, but this set, any set really, but this set, it was like $6 or something. I have a link in the description. And then to do that, you're gonna need some tokens. Now get at least, I would get 200 just so you have enough for the following year. They gotta be at least 2 colors, at least 2 colors. So those are the ones I had available. And the lessons take like 15 minutes. Remember, if I talked before or yesterday about primary and secondary subjects, if you don't wanna spend a lot of time teaching your kids and you want them to be able to enjoy life, get curriculums that don't have a lot of busy work. All right, let's talk about some games. There's no particular order to this stuff, all right? So this is a game where you stack it up. You just stack it up by color. Oh, that doesn't even belong in there. That doesn't belong in there. And then you can pull out a card and it can tell you which one to pick out. So it's like a Jenga. Kind of like a Jenga, but it's kind of fun. So, and it practices motor skills. Just wanted to show you some of the stuff we have, just to give you some ideas. These are yoga dice. Check these out, yoga dice. You roll them and then you choose one to do. So you choose one pose to do. So roll them, choose one pose to do. Pretty cool stuff. I'll leave everything in the description. These are flashcards. If your child's having problems with phonics, one of the things that you can do, and what's different about these flashlights and the flashcards and the sight words is that they're with pictures. So watching like my 5-year-old go through and be able to say all of these because of the picture. And then on the back with my 7-year-old, on the back, you know, it's got the word without the picture. So we're learning sight words. I'm still teaching them like how to sound things out, but a lot of sight words, some of the words can't be sounded out. All right, so there you go. These are Frazzle flashcards. All right, next up we got, to pull it out. Next up, we got Every Day is a New Start. I learn more every day. So they're basically affirmation cards. Today is a good day. But they're just, I was doing affirmations myself, and these are better than I could come up with. And again, they were like 10 bucks. If something's under 10 bucks, I'm probably gonna buy it. If it's over 10, I'm gonna think about it. Manner of the week. This week it was greet people joyfully. So next week it's gonna be look people in the eyes when you speak to them. If you have a son who has Asperger's or autism, you could tell them just to look between the eyes. Look right between, or a spot on your forehead. It looks the same, people can't tell. Or just tell them, hey, I'm listening to you, but if I look in the eyes, I get too much information. So on the back, it's got a little bit of information for you. So up next, we got kind of an alternative to Everybody Loves to All About Reading. It is Elemental Phonics. It's 10 bucks each book. And what I like about it is, look at this. So it's just simple. It's simple, and I love things that are simple and no busy work, but it's not as flashy as all about reading. So pig, wig, dig, big, bug, hug, rug, mug, dug. So I just like it, and it progresses through. It's by this woman who taught her 5 children to read using this system. Okay, next curriculum is, of course, letters and numbers. Printing, it is all about printing. Now, handwriting without tears. Handwriting without tears, I love, haven't used it yet. But I love the concept compared to some others. If your child, so language arts programs usually come with this in. There's some all-in-one programs. I ordered another that I'm excited to show you when it comes. But if you have a child who, say, has motor planning issues, which means they can't handwrite as well, that'll usually affect handwriting. So if they have apraxia, some types of autism, maybe their handwriting isn't up to par. Well, then you need to separate your language arts curriculum. So you separate into learning to read, into learning to handwrite, and learning to spell. And then on top of the language arts programs don't always do vocab, and they don't do literacy. You can get a literacy program on top of that as well. And my favorite literacy program, not for kindergarten, my favorite literacy program is in grade 1, which is the grade 1 hall, which I will talk about then, but I do have some awesome books today to show you. This is a history program that I'm torn between. I like it and I don't like it. So I like this part. If I could just buy this book, would be amazing. Now they printed it out for me, so you pay extra for printing, and this is how they printed it out. So this is by Winter's Promise, and I don't really recommend it. It has a lot of cool stuff in it. So look, Egyptian pyramids, Great Wall of China, making this all out of boxes, Arctic Igloo. So it has a lot, but it's like I want to say $269. So it's not exactly cheap, and it's got a ton of busy work. So if you get it, I would encourage you just to do this and maybe add it to, pick up the Kingfisher, the new one they have out, which is the History Atlas, and just go through there and then find some books on the topic. So for example, yesterday or the day before, one of the topics I gave was, if you're reading about like Egypt, then one of the books you might want to get is look up picture books that have to do with, Egypt. And one of the picture books would be How the Sphinx Got to the Museum. It's a great book. Okay, so but let me show you it. So it's for little kids, but it's just, look at how much text. And little kids are not gonna remember. It's very factual, it has a lot of facts about it. Little kids aren't gonna remember the dates, right? But it is an option if you wanted, and it deals with, they all deal with the same stuff. But I just think you're better off with a different curriculum, not using a curriculum in kindergarten. On the spot history fun. Which one's this? This is more of the art stuff. So make your own mummy. So wear a Greek, I don't even know how to say that. Play a great gladiator game. My boys play those games every day. Anyway, so there you go. It does come with a lot of scripture to memorize, not in the history component, but outside of it. And I left that book out. So not to say it doesn't come with a lot of materials, because it covers ancient, medieval, and the era of industry and information as well. But again, I just don't care for it because it's just got so much text. Like, just so much text for little kids. So I don't recommend it for kindergartners, but I like that one book and I just wanted to show you the history curriculum in case you like it. You might like it. I love highlights. I love highlights. I think you should get their High Five magazine. I mean, it's just amazing. You can get it for free on the Libby app. And these are just the numbers. So it starts off, which one are these? Oh, these are number puzzles. So usually I have one of their number books and it goes by, oh no, that's in preschool it starts off. But so they're just different puzzle books and I think it's fun. I think you can do them in restaurants. You can do them in the car. Well, maybe not in the car. Maybe, I don't know. Doctor's offices for sure. Just pull it out of your purse. Pull it out of your purse. There you go. So I think those are great. And these are their letter writing ones, which are also good. RRR, LLL, and then you're filling it in. So it goes through all the letters. Again, a good product, a fine product. Okay, let's get into some games. Of course, the Zingos. Everyone loves Zingo. What it is it's just a bingo, but this one with letters, and the other one is with numbers. So both are good. Both are entertaining to play. Next up, we got Rail Wreck. Rail Wreck is just a bunch, I mean, the game duration's 10 to 15 minutes. I'm a huge fan of short games. And yesterday in the preschool video, or 2 days ago when I did the preschool kindergarten video, because there's some kindergarten stuff in there, there's some games that would cross over into here, but Rail Wreck, it's just you got a bunch of trains and it's about counting and strategy, and then you get a card and oh, someone gets a rail wreck. So I find it a little hard to play with my particular kindergartners, only because if you don't like to lose, it's not that great. But this game's a huge hit if you just want a fun game, but to practice motor planning skills, this is a fun game. Again, it's another winner. Another winner. So those are our favorite games. Let's go down to art. This is awesome. 50 colors. I can't show you. It's like empty because we use it all, but it's just these. It's hyperallergenic. It's, I mean, gluten-free, non-toxic, and all you do, it's super soft. You pull them out, you make whatever you want, and it air dries. So I love it. That was a huge hit for our art. Now, I bought the Brave Writer. I love the Brave Writer. I don't like, if you watch my review, I don't like the Brave Writer book. I think it's overpriced. But what I do like is I do like their Jot and their Quill programs. I think they're, especially their Quill programs, I think they're adequately priced for what they are, and it's in the kindergarten age group. But even before I read that, one of the things we did is you buy plain books. These were at the Target dollar spot like 2 years ago before I came overseas, so it was a long time ago, but I'll put a link to some other awesome ones I found. And all you do is you make your own stories. And they talk about, in Jot, they want you to take a nursery rhyme, read the nursery rhyme, and have the kids retell, like narrate it back, and you write the pages down, and then they color the pictures, but without editing. So don't go in there and say, oh, well, shouldn't we phrase it like this? Just drop down whatever little mumble jumble comes out of their mouth regarding it. Ask some questions about it. But what we used it for was if we had stickers for someone who wasn't great at motor planning and didn't want to draw pictures, we had stickers of cars so they could make their own story with the cars, stickers, and then just draw your own stories. Just have them make their own stories, or I would write it for them. But we also used Canva as well for that. So that's just fun creativity, but we used Canva for it a lot as well. So they would tell me the story, like we would choose a topic they liked. So it's not very Brave Writery. Brave Writery has specific things of like, but anyway, we used it just, yeah, they would tell me a story. Like my 5-year-old at that time was obsessed with Titanic. So he would tell me all about Titanic. And so what we would do is then we'd write a story about Titanic for little kids, and then we go find pictures about Titanic and put it in on Canva. Okay, so I think this is a good book. It tells you a bit about how to recreate it. Tells you some general information about the picture, so you only need to read this about the picture if you're doing it, say it's a lunchtime thing, right? It's a secondary subject. I talk about primary and secondary subjects. This is art in our house would be a secondary subject, which means we don't spend that much time on it, which means at lunchtime when we're sitting there, I'm gonna pull it out, open a book, and we're gonna talk about the picture. The only problem with this book is that it's not very big. It doesn't last very long. So what I recommend is, this one is super cool, and this one goes through all the different genres of art. So I would say this is kindergarten. By the time you hit grade 1, maybe you're branching into this one, so maybe I should put it in the grade 1s. But look, Leonardo da Vinci. We went where it was and I couldn't find it. Can you believe that? I'm sure you can. I'm sure it's, you've only been on the video with me for 5 minutes and already you're like, But anyway, it's got the Christian paintings, it's got Christian art, it's got just all different types, genres of art, Baroque and Rococo, and it tells you a bit about it. So depending on their age, you only have to read that if you just want. And then they can look at the pictures and tell you what they think about the pictures, what they think is happening. This is, now if you can only afford one of these, because I got a couple art books, if you can only afford one, go right with this. Even if you can't use it right away, which I think you can. So this is How to Teach Art to Children. It's pretty cool. Look at this. This is one of the things it's even got, I mean, it's just got a lot of interesting stuff in here. Look at this, you're making hieroglyphs. I like that. And then one of the other things, I still have it from the last time here. So you're mixing colors. So it explains to you here what warmer and cooler colors are. And then here you're taking something and you're making it cooler, you're making it warmer based on this page. So it's just got a lot of interesting art in its step-by-step projects if you are not good at art, which I am not. But basically I just tried different mediums. This is drawing with children. Children learning to draw does not come naturally. People being drawers or artists, like this is the first part, is learning the 5 basic elements of shape. You can start as early as age 3, and then what we did is we did maps. After we learn these shapes and practice these shapes, and what you do is you have a page like this, those are all the shapes, and they write it in here. So I just did it on a big page, copy these shapes in here just to get their hands used to it, and then we did like a map. And so that's bodies of water, right? These are, you know, some mountains and some roads and things like that. So there you go. Okay, next up, this is Welcome to the Symphony. This is Symphony number 5. Let's turn it off. But it's Symphony number 5, and what's super cool is it's about these little mice, and they go to the theater to hear Beethoven. So they learn all about it by listening to Beethoven. If you introduce them, my kids love classical music, they love composing. No, only one likes composing, but they both like classical music. And what I did is, if you get David Garrett V and you listen to David Garrett, you might really enjoy it yourself, so you might listen to it more often, easier. Okay, so what should Danny do? These are a couple of my favorite books. Or just really good books. What should Danny do? This is his On Vacation. I can't find his regular one, but it's basically just the power of choice. So when he comes down, different things happen based on the decisions this kid makes. And so you have the power of choice. It's teaching them about a power of the choice. This is just such a beautifully illustrated, and it's really lyrical to read. A book about the Snatcher book. He steals books. So if you have an endless budget, or get at the library, a Snatcher book if you want a good book, that's a good one. I have a lot of book hauls. I haven't done one in a while, but this inspired me. I really wanted to do another book haul, and I was like, you know, let's bring it in. So Question and Answers and Feelings. This is one of the best books I have about questions and answers and feelings that I have read. Why is the weather making me feel grumpy? Why doesn't mom understand me all the time? Why don't I like being teased? So why do adults get scared? So it's got some really interesting questions there. And of course, this is my favorite book ever. It's got earth on one side, it's got water on the other side. Let me just, instead of me opening to random pages, so discover the secrets of the underground worlds. Look at this. Tardigrades. My son talks about tardigrades a lot, or mentions them periodically. So it's got different insects and things that live under there. It's got more, the burrows, it's got different animals, lots of animals, and then you're gonna move from animals to vegetables. So anything that goes under the earth, because then you're gonna move from vegetables. So it's like a lesson in a book. You're gonna move from vegetables to tree roots. Anyway, I'm gonna skip a few pages. Eventually you get to look at natural gas under there, all the waters and sewers under there, how sewage is cleaned, all the subways, and it's got, you know, interesting records like, oh, the deepest subway in Earth is, I think, Japan. It's got famous archaeological finds and things like that. Now, the thing about any science book is that we discover information so quickly, and then when you flip it over anyway, it's got water. Flip it over, it's got all the stuff to do with underwater, that it's changing rapidly enough that it may not be super accurate, right? So when you're reading this book, it may be like, hey, this is the biggest archaeological find ever found, or this is the first time a human was found. I don't think it mentions that though, but that's not true anymore because they found more. So science is a-changing. That's what science does. I mean, you learn new stuff. Okay, so there you go. I hope you like it, and I hope you tune in for next time for grade 1. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like you right.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell you know notification.